Hi friends!
Welcome back to another episode of the Sound Girl Pod. And we are back with the one and only
Yay!
Rhoda Kidula. Is that how you present yourself?
Rhoda Kidula Kedaha.
Bass.
Yes.
So you have seen her before on the other episode where we were talking about reconciling with God. And we said, who better? Because she talks about relationships, marriages, love, and all that on her Rhoda Kidula show, which you should also check it out. You should check it out. We said, who better have this conversation with? So today we'd love to talk about misconceptions that people have about healing for lost relationships. So it could be romantic relationship or even a friendship that you really treasured that you lost. Just loss of relationships. That's what we're going to be talking about today. But before we go ahead, we'd love for you to introduce yourself. Maybe there are new subscribers on this episode. Yeah. So take the floor.
Thank you for having me again. My name is Rhoda Kidula Kedaha. I am a woman of God. I love Jesus with all my heart, my soul, and my mind. Daily striving to get closer to Him. I am a married woman, 5 years, 6 months still. Mother of two, a 16-year-old and a 2-year-old, and I'm enjoying teenage drama plus toddler drama. I'm enjoying all that. I'm the host of the Rhoda Kidula Show on YouTube, where we talk about marriage and family, and I'm also an author of a book for my beautiful teen girl.
Awesome.
Yes.
I'm here to learn.
Seriously, I'm also here
with
to
that
learn.
Bio, with that kind of introduction, what do you even have to bring to the table?
But you also didn't introduce yourself.
People, they already know.
I'm also here to learn.
And I need to learn because, there's that question of what do you bring to the table? Me, I'm bringing the table.
Oh, I
am
the
table itself. So that's all I can bring to this conversation today.
The table.
But we'll try. We'll do our level best.
Yeah.
So this conversation stems from a point. I think we don't talk as far as maybe relationships that are concerned, and when we go through loss of them, the loss of those relationships. So people talk about loss, but we don't really. Sometimes we don't focus on the after.
Yes.
What are you supposed to do? And we are not here to give expert advice.
Oh yes.
We're just here to share in our experiences and the things that we have gone through. I'm just from telling Rhoda, I've not lived much, so I may not.
You have not loved much.
I've not loved much. Exactly.
Living you have. Loving.
I'm still young. I
God
think I'm
should just bring this man who will sweep you off your feet.
And then
I think every human being deserves a good breakup. To grow.
Yeah, to shake you.
Yeah, to just grow.
And to rely on God. And to have a testimony.
And to also learn what not to do. In now the relationship that actually now will need it. But there are people who've married their first girlfriends and they're doing well. So I think some of us just learned from these experiences. So you've never been heartbroken?
I don't think I could say never. I think there are instances where I felt like maybe I was expecting. So part of my my relationship phase was really after high school.
Yes.
So I was in, I think I was in one that was really called, the other ones, you can't even call them a relationship. They didn't even make sense.
Just liked each other.
Yeah, you just liked each other, but so I really can't call it heartbreak because again, those relationships are also not serious. Like there was one, the guy who was, this one I was fresh after high school, and I was very we were just young, stupidly in love. You think you're in love, but you just understand love for what you know it to be at that point. So there's one that a guy used to flirt with me a lot on text, and we had met from at some place, but he used to really flirt with me on text and so Nile, this guy has flirted with you so much that it's gotten into your head, and you're like, there's something here.
Going
but
on.
There isn't on his end. He has something else going on.
Ooh.
So for me, but I'm like, okay, there's something here. There's actually maybe this is how relationships are. So I'm so soaked into conversations and things like that, into the whole the flirting. The guy has promised me a few things here and there. And then I remember it was, so this whole flirting thing was going on between 2016, that's when I cleared high school.
Yeah.
And 2017.
Yes, you are young. We agree.
I was very young. I mean, what do you know after high school? There's nothing. So this was 2016. Right after high school, and then it went up to like 2017 March, February actually. So it was really like how many months? 2 or 3 months.
Yeah, 3 months.
So this guy has flirted with me just straight after high school. He told me, oh, the way I'm beautiful and all that, you're pretty. Hey, this thing has gotten into my head. This guy has told me, I see a future with you. So it came a day, a fateful day.
Yes.
On February 14th. What do we celebrate on that day?
Valentine's Day.
Not even Easter. On Valentine's Day. It's not even a day of the Lord. It was nothing.
Valentine's Day. What happened?
So in my head, I've already known there's something here.
Yes.
So I think for me, I'm an overthinker. I don't know if an overthinker is the right word, but I think I soak into, if I get into a relationship, I've soaked into it so much. You like I give my all, I give my everything. Like this is maybe like date 2 or date 3, and I've given my all. Yes. I've seen a lot and So in my head, this was just flirting. This guy is just telling me sweet nothings, and I'm already like, me nimesha tumeenda. So it comes February 14th, and I open Facebook.
Ooh.
Guess what I see?
He's married.
No, he hasn't. On that 14th, he engaged a girl. So he posted that he has engaged someone, and I'm like, what was going on?
Wait,
here?
Did you cry?
I didn't cry, but I was so disappointed.
Did you eat?
Why you
Wait, no, we know.
I was so sad, but I don't think I was so expressive.
Eat?
I was just, did I eat?
You ate.
I don't even remember.
Did you feel something in your
this is
stomach?
7 years ago.
Now, let me tell you.
Something
heartbreaks, you remember every detail.
So this is not a heartbreak.
It's
I can see you're so disappointed. You and the guy behind the camera are like, what is that, surely?
She didn't cry.
That is my heartbreak story. Please respect it. Yeah, so that day I was like, Yanni, this guy has just been playing my mind like this.
Yeah.
Like, how
you were
stupid
disappointed.
could I have? I was very disappointed. I was very sad. And I let it go. So I was just like, oh, maybe it's me.
So I really had not intentionally asked you out.
We had not even gone out. So it was just flinging and just sweet nothings, and it was nothing really serious. But for me, I had in my mind, I was like, I mean, you can't be telling me all this, and there's no way you're taking me. You're calling me all these things, you're telling me how I'm beautiful, how I'm perfect for here.
Serious.
Why? So I've already, and I'm young, so I've already known that. I mean, we are going very far. So by that time, I knew we are good, and we are. So he posts that, and I'm like, okay. So that was my first scenario of that is my heartbreak story.
Yeah, we respect your story.
Yes.
We have to respect your story.
Yeah, so and I can't even call it a relationship really because I don't think we didn't even go for any dates. It was just all on text, and that was it. Then the second one was we literally went on dates. But it was a bit long. It was like a few months. It was actually a year, something close to a year. But that one we grew apart. Now it is in this time or in this phase that I was actually now beginning to also reconcile myself with God. Now I was getting into a serious relationship with God. Now this time I was even dating an unbeliever. Now this second one. So, but he's so nice. He's so good. There's something about this unbeliever guy. He was so good. I'm not talking. They're so kind and they feel so like honest. They feel right.
Yes.
And then here, Mr. Paul in the Bible tells you cannot be unequally yoked. And I'm like, have you seen this man?
Have you seen him?
This is the right
straight out of a magazine.
And so for me, I felt like I could change him.
Yeah. Tell me how that went.
So I felt like, you know what? This one I can change. I can talk to him. We can go out on coffee dates. Yeah, we can go out on coffee dates and get to know what is the root of the problem. Let us address the problem. From its roots. I was so invested. I was like, this one is headed somewhere. I understand he's not born again, but we can work around that. I can be the prayer warrior of this.
Oh yes.
Oh my God, that's so stupid.
I think for me, at that, in my experience like that, I was like, God, show the world how you can change
a man through a woman.
Use me, Lord. Use me, Lord.
Yeah. So for me, I was actually telling God, you know what, God, I'm what Matthew 28. Is it Matthew 28? The Great Commission.
Oh, yeah.
I am bringing a soul to the kingdom.
Yes.
At the end of this, the goal is to add a soul to the kingdom. So God, I'm doing you a favor. So if you don't bless this thing, then you've lost a soul for yourself. So don't blame. Yeah, I'm telling you, God. So yeah, but that one. So, but while I'm in that, now that's when I'm beginning to connect with God and get into just to understand God for myself. And so I meet these scriptures of, you cannot, light has nothing to do with darkness.
Yeah.
You cannot be unequally yoked. And I'm like, what are you telling me? I'm really invested in this. But now a moment came and I really, just a quick story. I think I've shared this before. So I had a moment with God. So it was it was in a men's conference.
Oh,
I just attended.
What were you doing in a men's conference?
I know, right? So I'm a PK. So what happened at that time, I had not learned how to drive. So normally if there's an event after church service and your parents are the hosts, because they're the ministers, so they're the hosts of the guest minister who's coming to preach.
Yes.
You have to wait for the whole thing to end so that you can go home together, right?
Yeah.
So I had to wait. So I had to just sit in a men's seminar. It was a men's seminar in church. And I had to wait for my parents to finish this whole thing. So I said, let me just listen in. And, I'm not different from a man. We're all human beings. So what I can benefit from one or two things. And so the preacher preaches and I'm like, so he's getting to the end, up altar call, and he says, so he talks about, so throughout he was talking about men who do not want to obey God, yet they know they are sinning. And that is what is really preventing you from, becoming a great man and all, being what God has called you to be. So, and he finishes and he says, some of you here have something called the King Saul's spirit. So you know what you're doing is wrong. And you want to stick to it as much as God is telling you to stop doing it.
Yes.
So some of you, and he went on and said, some of you are in relationships with non-believers. And I'm like,
really?
God, I was not even meant to be in this conference.
It's for
men.
You're
going to slice me like this in a men's conference. So, and I was like, whoa. And so, and he said, I want you to pray for yourself. That God may work on you.
Yes.
So I said, okay, let me pray for myself. I prayed for myself and told God, you know what, God, just do your will. I may love this guy. I may do everything to try and, but just have your will for my life. And it was not even more than 2 hours. I did not have feelings for this guy at all. They were just like gone. Like I had nothing hinged on him. Like I would look at his call. I'm like, I don't feel like people. Like it was just it just ended like that. So that's why I was saying that that one was not a heartbreak. It was just we had to just grow apart because now things were not aligned.
Yeah,
again.
I understand.
So it was just it just fell off like that, and it just died a natural death. Yeah, so
number 3.
But that's the end. That's the end for me. Please,
going to number 7.
I've not lived much. So I've not loved much. So that was it. But now. I realized that is a lost relationship, or because previously, before we even did our dates, we had a very good friendship.
Oh yes,
very good friendship. And so the other day, actually, last month, I was like, by the way, this guy, it's been long since we talked.
Yeah.
So I realized there's a reason why these things are coming back to me. It's either maybe I'm not healed or maybe closure or one of those things, because it's a loss. It's like I'm mourning because I was really thinking about him a lot, and I'm like. I mean, just to touch bases as friends. No, don't look at me like that. I'm a new being.
You don't have new friends.
I have friends. Like
touch base with these ones.
No, but what happened actually? I was scrolling through my contact list, and he just came. Okay. I don't know. I just saw his name, and I was like, actually, we've not talked in a long while. I was like, do I just say hi? No, but I didn't. Don't worry, I didn't do anything. I didn't.
That would be another show.
But I thought about him that day, and I was like, because now what happened? How we now totally broke off kabisa is because on season 1 of our episodes, we did an episode called Young and Stupidly in Love. So I talked about, that was my story about being young and stupidly in love and the things that I did with in that phase. And he texted me after watching that episode, and he was like, I'm so remorseful, but these are the things that I got you through and all that, and I was feeling so bad. like maybe I shouldn't have talked about
him without
so
him.
from
him
there
knowing.
on, we have never talked. So because he was like, I'm so apologetic. Da, 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 you should have told me. Da, da, da. And I was like, whoa. So I self-blamed a lot. By
Yes.
I was not even able to text, I think, until after a day or two later. So, but after that, we talked. I told him it's okay, I've forgiven you. It's nothing pretty much. Da, da, da. He texted again, but I was not able to reply. So from then on, we have never talked. So it was left hanging like that.
Yeah.
And I think now that's when the day I was just scrolling through my phone and I saw his contact. I was like, by the way, I should. But I just left it.
You left it.
Yes.
Do you feel like you need to talk to him for you now to finalize?
I don't know.
How long has it been since you talked?
We're in 2024. That was, I think,
we're talking years.
That was the last time we had that conversation. It was in 2022.
Yes. Let it go.
It was October 2022.
You have healed.
I have healed.
Yes, let it go.
Okay. The expert has said it.
No, it's been 2 years. Unless now you want to pursue the friendship again.
I'm not really interested. I'm not really interested. Maybe it's just that time you just miss actually maybe like the good times you had or like the conversations you had as friends, and like
think about your new friends.
So my mind is.
You have
set
new friends
right.
now.
I've moved on. Yeah. So what are some of those misconceptions you think that people have about loss of
relationships? That is for me number one, that you need to go back and see it like it's been years, man. If you haven't healed or moved on, then it's you. The issue is you. Like even if they come and you now sit and now start analyzing, we left each other like 2 years ago. Now we start going back. Oh, by the way, I was mad because you did really.
Okay.
Yeah, for me personally, I think, and I come from the school of thought of if you're my ex, you're my ex. We had time to be friends,
and that was
we failed. What are we talking about? Especially at night, tunaongea nini sahi? Like sahi now we have time to go, unless
not even married.
Unless now we are still not married and we still see hope there. But right now, then I always want to do something that I would be comfortable my husband doing, and I don't think I would be comfortable him also going through his list and saying, "Oh, by the way, it's been a while. We have not talked." I'm like, no, talk to me now. And another thing is also time. Yes, time plays a role, but I think Jesus heals.
Okay.
Yeah, because you can have all the time in the world, but the moment someone told me that if you want to know whether you've forgiven someone or not, when you see them or you see them, you meet them or you see them on social media, or maybe you're scrolling and you see your name, you have no bad feelings. But if it just reminds you of how angry you are and you start rehearsing things that you need to tell him or her, then you haven't healed. And healing is something I have to do for myself. Yes, I can sit down with you, closure and all that. I was told there's even a relationship, there's an interview to end a relationship. What did you do what did I do that you wouldn't want me to take to my next relationship? When you're ending, people nowadays
you do like a final date.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
People do that, and you tell me things. I'm like, energy yote.
Don't you think that's important for closure?
It's important.
Now to have things settled, and now know that you're moving from now on from a clean
it's
slate.
Important. Actually, the same way, it's important for people to be intentional about who are we, what are we doing. It's also very important for people to have those conversations. Hey, it's over. Let it be verbalized. Let people know exactly what's going on.
It's quick over text.
Yeah, it's quick over text. Even if it's over text, let someone know it's over. Than keeping someone in some zone where you moved on, you're engaging someone, right? And you haven't told them anything. So I was answering the question of it's been 2 years. You don't need a meeting.
Yeah, you don't. Okay.
If you need to meet him after 2 years, either you're still interested or the issue is just you.
Okay.
And you were to deal with yourself, Right. And another thing is distance. There are people who believe that if you go to China and I stay in Kenya, then I'm healed. You're only healed as much as is out of sight.
If it comes to China, you'll still...
Yeah. They can appear
Change of environment doesn't help. Really,
it helps to some extent because there are people who are also used to each other a lot. So when we separate and say, now ebuka eni mbali, it helps you know that if you are really in love, if it was really something, if it was really over, but if you were hurt and you're thinking like, hey, if I don't see him again, I will heal without working anything else, without doing anything else intentionally to pursue healing for yourself, then you're not really healed. It's just that you don't see the person. When you see the person, it might actually open
up the wounds again.
Yeah. And we are not even talking about China. Maybe someone is just avoiding. Actually, avoiding is the word, not even distance. That avoiding someone will make me heal faster. Something like that. Oh.
Oof, that's a good
You can
one.
even be married and you're still mad and angry at your ex. And it can actually cause so much harm to your marriage because some husbands and wives are suffering the mistakes made by people's exes. Like because they thought I couldn't trust them because they betrayed me. So my antennas are just up. Like I am just
even in this marriage,
the signs, even Nani started like this.
You're always looking out for.
Yes, you're always looking out for that. But I believe healing is possible. Let's not just take God out of the picture because I think he is the healer of broken hearts. He's like, we can't even run away from him.
Absolutely.
Like for me, I totally believe healing comes from God, not from time, not from distance, not from avoiding someone. Yeah. The foundation is God. Then there are these other practical things you do.
You have to do,
now keeping off, now taking the time off and all that. But
going
fundamentally,
therapy,
it is God. But heartbreaks are real. And you feel something. For me, I believe if you don't feel something in the stomach, it's not heartbreak.
You sure? People just have different ways of expressing these things.
But there are people who have... I think it's my people that I've talked to. There's something in their stomach. You don't want to eat. You don't talk to anyone. You don't want to leave.
Hey, people manage pain differently. And there are others who will now go and even eat.
Yes, now you either don't eat or stress.
Like you'll do an extreme of either. Okay.
Because for me, heartbreaks. One was actually like yours. There's this man,
unbeliever guy.
He was hot.
Tell us.
My husband will watch this one. You're also hot, my love. So, and the good thing is that he knew him actually he knew him. So I was just like, God save this one for the world to know that you are a savior. Change this one.
Use me, God.
Me, Lord.
I'm the vessel here.
I fasted. Imagine I fasted.
Allah.
Yeah.
You were very serious about it.
Yeah, now when you are that serious, the heartbreak now paralyzes you because
you are so invested.
If you invest a lot, the heartbreak brings you down. But if you don't, and it's even worse when sex is involved. The heartbreak becomes something else. You might even think your life is over.
Okay.
So for me, for this one, I was like, hey, God, save him for me. And to make it worse, he never intentionally asked me out. Me, I was already on page 30. He doesn't know we are reading a book. Like for him, there was no book. He's just a friend. A church girl.
But was he entertaining you in all these things? Like was he making moves or at any point other than just...
He was available.
Okay.
Available to hang out with me, to talk to me. And I am a very good girlfriend. I was a very good girlfriend. Like, I am very loyal. I am, by the way, if there was a trophy for good girlfriends or girlfriend of the year,
I hear you.
I think I was a good one. I was so loyal. I invested in relationships.
They say when a woman loves, she loves.
For real. So for... of course, the first one, I was more heartbroken because there was sex involved and there was a baby involved. So it was still high school love, thinking that I know what love is. Kumbe, I have no idea. So when I was being left, I was like, how can you? There's a baby. more reason for us to be in a relationship,
together.
You can't leave me like this, you cannot, so I tried forcing issues until I discovered I didn't know me. I didn't even know who Rhoda was and what Rhoda likes. So when I started now learning who Rhoda is in Christ, I discovered Rhoda doesn't even want that, by the way. No. Rhoda, you're actually better than that. Yes, you have a baby. Yes, nini. But no, you are better than that. You can do better.
Miles Monroe says, the more self-aware you are, the more pickier you get. Like, you want to take your time to pick because you know what is right for you.
Yes, and you even know what you're picking.
Exactly.
After high school, you don't know what you're picking. You are in relationships because everyone else is in relationships. You are in love because of what you have watched in movies. And
social media,
you describe love as, what you see. It's hugging, it's spending time. Like, you don't actually know what love is. But I was still very much heartbroken. I was neglected many times. I was rejected many times. I went back, hey, Buddha, we have to be in a way. You're my soulmate, Bana. I imagine I even asked to be a second wife. I was like, if you found someone else, I don't mind being your second wife because we have a child. Hey, there are things I remember and I feel like,
you want to beat yourself up.
Yeah, who was that?
But now look at you.
I know.
You now know better.
I now know better. And I know who I am. I think when I started being serious with God, that's the time I was moving to university. Started being serious with God, and God was revealing himself to me and revealing myself to me as well. Hey, Rhoda, it's not the end of life. It's okay. There's another story beyond this. So I think from there, my healing came through knowing God. Because I was really heartbroken. I couldn't believe. First love, you're like, and the soaps I've watched, they are soulmates.
The thing about first love or that kind of relationship, you always believe like, there's no other person.
There's no other person that you will ever. It can
only be because me. I had believed there's no. So that time I was going to join campus and I was going to join USIU.
Yes.
So and the way I knew USIU or how I had heard about it before I joined, I knew it was a very secular university. The people there are spoiled. So I was like telling God, I can't even find a man in campus. These people are not even So this is the one. Like, you can't see anybody past this guy.
And the mentality of the one. Mimi, it's soap operas that I used to watch.
Where you're a hopeless romantic.
Do you know, I know, in the soaps, if you are in love, no matter what happens in between, you'll always
come
end
back
up
together.
Yeah. So for me, I was pushing for...
Reality is different.
I was pushing for,
you can always end up together.
Whatever. In fact, I think there are times, and I used to write emails on Yahoo. I hope you deleted if you ever watched this. Because I used to write and say, no matter what, even if you chase me, even if you block me, I am your soulmate. We will end up together. Hey, God, thank you for reviving me. Thank you for rescuing me and all that. So for me, knowing God, getting deeper, even now as a married woman, there's a level of heartbreak I can't handle. Like, God forbid, if my husband were to leave me, I don't think I'll kill myself. Because I know me. I depend on God. Is my source of joy, of peace. God is my source of everything, not Jackson. Jackson is human. The way I disappoint him, he also disappoints me. So, yes, I give my all in my marriage, but I won't say it is my everything.
You hold on to God still.
I hold on to God. So when I started holding on to God, I started being healed. I received healing and restoration and all that. And by the time now I'm seeing this other... Alejandro, I'm like, God gave me a red. So I don't think it was a flag. The skies were red. The skies were red. But I kept forcing and saying, oh God, I have picked this one. Make him the one.
Make him the one.
In Jesus' name.
That reminds me of a meme. It's a meme I saw. So this lady was saying that God, there seems not to be good men out here. So I'll get a bad one, then I'll give him to you for editing.
edit him, and make him the one. So for me, I believe God is our healer. Ultimately, heals broken hearts. And for you to get total healing, you dive into the Word of God. You seek the Lord. The more of Him you have, the more bitterness and anger and all that goes away. Yeah,
I know we are almost going out, but I'd want to ask you this because from what you've said, it has. I've just gotten this. I've been able to reflect. The Rhoda that is you now.
Yes.
When you look back, do you think that phase that you went through that was necessary?
It was
to form who you are right now.
It was, because my husband would suffer. Some of the things I have gone through have really matured me and shaped me, because
there's a lot of you that
if
had
I
to be
got
shed.
married at 22, 21, I don't think I would even sustain a marriage. I would be so petty. I would be so immature. That man would really suffer. So I am actually thanking God for the many times he said no. Because I also learned to deal with disappointment. And above everything, I learned not to put my trust in a human being, even if it is my own husband.
Yeah.
And not to, there is giving your all in a relationship, and there is worshipping your spouse or the person you're dating. Yeah, now they become idols.
Your idol. Yeah, they take the place of God.
Yes, for me that was it. It was like, if I'm in a relationship, God takes a back seat. Yes, now.
Yes, because that was me in that relation. Yes, because I really gave this guy my 100%.
Yeah.
And so if
you took even God's percentage, the one that you're supposed to give God.
Yeah, because now that one yes. Now I've had just like a eureka moment. Because I'm like, when I look back, I was so devoted, and maybe that could mean that if you're in a relationship where, if you're a Christian or whatever it is that you believe in, if you're in a relationship where that you really prioritize this guy over everything, including him taking even the place of God, like the time you would have spent with God, it's everything about him, then that means it's dangerous.
It's dangerous. And God is not pleased with that relationship as well.
Exactly.
Yeah. And you see many girls, even we take away everything that was important. God takes a backseat. Friends take a backseat. So it's now me and this guy, and there are men who would also want that, especially narcissists and those who abuse you. They want to isolate you. So they take you away from God, away from your friends, so that they can do whatever. And then there are those who will actually feel suffocated. Because now Rhoda depends on me for happiness. This thing they say, marry me, I'll make you very happy. No. They don't.
Nobody can be the source of happiness.
No, they can't.
That's
no human
putting so
being.
much expectation on a person.
You cannot expect my husband to do things that only God can do.
Exactly.
Like, he can't give me joy, he can't give me peace.
Preach, preacher.
Because I also can't do that for him. I disappoint him so many times, Yeah. So if I did that, I would suffocate this man. Because he will never make me happy. Everything he would do, I would want more. And I would blame him for every wrong thing that is happening.
And if he didn't make you happy, you'd still blame him.
Yes, I would still blame him. Yeah. So we are disappointed a lot when we put our hope in man. So I had to learn that, and I really thank God for taking me through that. So my husband can even now enjoy this version of Rhoda.
It has been very refined.
In fact, I always say, if I didn't have a baby while joining university, I think I would date a lot. Because that would be my first time I'm free from my parents. I would explore even drugs. But every time I didn't even date my entire 4 years in Daystar, because my mind was, I have a baby
at home. I have to get back to
the baby. There's a baby. Then there was a period of hating men. Like, men can do this. All of them are like that. Then God also taking time to just seek the Lord and go deeper. God takes away the anger. God takes away the bitterness.
He shifts your perspective about even men.
Even men. I'm married now.
Them. I mean, somebody who's hating men, now you're married.
Yeah.
That means God does a lot. Okay, I totally get you. And I ask that because also when I look back at me there, and I when I reflect, I'm like, if I hadn't gone through that, then I wouldn't have understood what the love of God should be like in a relationship.
Yes.
And I am so grateful that I went through that, and even the break I've had away from relationships, just to get to understand God for myself and to be also understand myself and to just be really self-aware. And I'm so grateful that I went through those things that I went through.
But your eyes are open, right?
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay.
I can't.
Good to know.
Well, I may not speak much. I'm still human. But I may not really make the mistakes that I made in that.
Yeah.
Like, I wouldn't, as much as I would find a guy who's an unbeliever, and no matter how good they would be, I don't think I can make
You have learned that lesson.
I have learned that. And
if there's a lady or even man, there are even Christian men who think non-believers, women who are not born again are the honest ones, the cool ones. You know? Yeah. When God says no, He knows why.
He means no. Absolutely. I think that's enough for today. We've exhausted. I think you've even said the misconception that I wanted to say.
Yeah.
So I'm really good, and I've learned quite. It was my session for me to learn and to unpack.
Me too.
As well. Moral of the story: if you've not felt something in your stomach, it was not a heartbreak. So you have to feel something
in the stomach that will make you either starve or overeat.
Eat excessively and cry. If you didn't cry, it was not a heartbreak. So I didn't go through a...
You were disappointed. Slightly disappointed.
This life, okay.
Anyway, but the next one, still give your all.
All right.
Yeah.
I have learned from the best. Give your all, but trust in God.
Yes.
Hold on to God.
Yes, right. True.
Sawa. I've taken the notes. I hope you have as well, dear listener. And with that brings us to the end of this episode. Thank you so much for coming and being a blessing to us and to being a blessing to our friends here who have been listening to you. And we are so grateful. May God keep on showering you with blessings, and may your cup continue to overflow.
Amen.
Your cup of wisdom,
Amen.
human, may He continue to just graciously impact on you so that you may be able to be a blessing to the people that also listen to you and to this generation at large. Thank you so much.
Thank you too.
That was it for today's episode. Share your stories, what misconceptions you know about lost relationships, and if you've gone through loss of a relationship, whether romantic or just friendship, tell us how your experience has been, and we'd love to learn from you. And with that, be sure to subscribe, follow, and engage with us. Until next time, it is bye from us.